Check his Instagram out. I think he just started making these. You can get them in all sorts of different variations and colors and what they say, if they say lock, free, or slow, fast, or something like that. He's got all kinds of different ones, different thread pitches. Super cool. They're not cheap, but they're also not that expensive. But I figured I'd give the first one a try, and then that way I don't have to buy 4 of them if I didn't like them. But this one's gonna go on the main shift knob, so throw this baby on. I'm gonna throw some Loctite on it just so it don't move. I should also mention that the rig actually runs pretty good right now. The only thing I would say that I kind of screwed up on, the air shocks, I've got way too much shaft exposed. I don't have a whole lot of room for up travel, as you can kind of tell. That's kind of why it's eating that bar alive, which honestly it doesn't seem to hurt anything, but I am losing a little bit of down travel with the fact that these mounts aren't technically correct. So my plan is to probably either extend this mount up. It might be a little bit easier than messing with the one on the top, and maybe just add that up another couple inches or so. And I think that would actually help with the unloading that these air shocks tend to give me right now. Because I think right now I'm about, let me put a tape on it, but I'm at about 5 inches of up travel on a 14-inch shock. You know, at the 7-inch mark, that's halfway, and I think that's when these things like to unload, basically. So if I can kind of keep it to 3-inch up travel, and you know, if I hit a bump hard, then whatever, but that'll help, I think, with the unloading part of it. And then obviously running a sway bar in the front will help a ton. So I was debating doing it on the back. I wasn't sure what to do, if I wanted to do it on the front or the back, but I think doing it on the front is the most effective. I'd hate to do it on the back and then it didn't end up performing like I thought it would. So that's my plan, at least for this sway bar situation. It's come. Maybe this will help. So here's the deal. This bar is actually a 36-inch bar. I wanted to get a 32-inch bar, but when I ordered like the 32-inch kit and all the parts and pieces, it was like an extra $300. So I just went ahead and ordered a JK kit, and it came with some brackets on the bottom I was anticipating on using, but that's not going to work, and I'll kind of show you here in a little bit. But I think what I'm going to end up doing, since this kind of sticks out a little bit far, my plan is now to probably sleeve after I drill a hole. 1 second here. So this bushing here goes over, if you guys aren't familiar with these kits here, it has like 1.5 inch inside diameter bushing. And then like your bracket would go around that and it would like bolt up to your frame somewhere right here, or it would just go on like on a piece of tube, and then you can weld to whatever you need to. So what I'm gonna end up doing here, basically I'm gonna drill a hole, probably like somewhere dead center of the frame, somewhere right there. And but it's basically gonna sleeve right through there. That'll hold this bar, it'll run all the way through the frame.
It'll actually be more protected that way in the frame. And then actually the bar will kind of come up and be able to swing up and down. It's gonna look slightly goofy. Imagine the bar is kind of like right there. My arm's gonna be down, something kind of like that. It's not gonna have a whole bunch of up travel, but when it goes down, you know, it's not gonna be like normal looking, but it is a piece together kind of, not a kit, so I kind of got to make it work the best I can. So it's going to be really close to my air shock. I think if I eyeball it somewhere in that range there, I'm super close. But I think as long as I get it as far forward as possible, it should be okay. And so the other thought that I had was taking this bracket here, and it was going to go to the frame, probably something like this. What's up, Bern? And my anticipation was to put it under the frame, something like that. Only issue with that is that it was more like where it kind of goes tight up against the bar. It kind of is more, let me see if I can visualize this. It's almost kind of like that. So with the bar centered up between the frame, it pushed the brackets out to like right on the edge. And to make a plate, I don't want it to hang any lower. I don't want it to be kind of goofy looking. It already looks kind of out of place. And I couldn't really tell until I got the pieces here, but I think that's why I have to go with the tube sleeved through the frame. It is what it is. I never really know until you get the parts. So maybe I can sell the brackets or something, or maybe like a refund of some sort for just the brackets. But I mean, I didn't know until I had them. So, but I do have some scrap pipe laying around, so I'll just go ahead and just sleeve it, make it where the sleeve is going to be obviously centered up, and that bar will be basically able to smash up against once the bushing's in the sleeve. Bolt it tight, and it shouldn't move side to side. It should be pretty solid. I think it'll be the best option for me. I wanted to kind of maybe see if I could fit it on the back, but there's just nowhere to put it. It's like the same width as the frame in the back. It's narrowed up in the front, so it makes more sense to run it in the front anyways, to kind of keep it unloading while I get on any sort of throttle or whatever. So that's why I kind of have to make it work on the front. I don't want to just waste $700. So let me get to working on it, but that's going to be the plan. And if it doesn't work, then I have a hole in my frame. So I got one hole cut, slide it in that hole. It's going to go somewhere right there. Kind of give you an idea. One thing I will mention is this has been a very long project, even though it's a very easy task. I've just been so slammed at work. So I'm just trying to find time to kind of work on it. So it's taking me a little bit longer to work on it, but you guys can't tell because this is just a short video. But I've been working on this for over a month. But just give me some slack. Okay, so some progress on this thing. I got the hole drilled out of the frame right there, obviously through both sides. Kind of gives you an idea what it's going to turn out to be. Actually kind of worked out having that little bit wider of a bar. I thought I kind of wanted to have it more tucked in, but as you can kind of tell, I mean, it's roughly in the spot it's going to go. But you can tell it's not going to be up in that tube right there, and it kind of gets away from my little frame and front, whatever you want to call that. But actually, I think it's going to turn out pretty good. This is kind of roughly the angle it'll probably be, because I don't want to have probably more than maybe 2 or 3 inches of up travel. So it's really only going to go about right up there at the max-ish, roughly. The only thing, obviously, that I'm going to have to do is adjust where my air shock mounts up to. What's going to happen is the tab, that's not going to be used anymore. I'm going to build something off the side here. It's actually a little bit taller up, because as you can kind of tell, I'm not getting full use out of my shock travel. So I need to kind of move it back up and forward. That should free up some space there. You can kind of see it won't be in the way of that arm. It'll be more towards back here, so that will solve that problem. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing off of its tires again, get some jack stands under it, start cutting away some metal and making some tabs, and get that shock fixed. So hopefully that'll alleviate some of the spacing issues I think I was gonna have. So I got a couple little tabs made, nothing really all that fancy. Sits somewhere right about there. I'm gonna try and line it up kind of with the back there so I get as much room as possible. And then I'll end up put a little triangle piece in there or something just to gusset it from side to side movement. But that should work out for that. Like I said, nothing really crazy. It looks kind of weird, but you know, some things just look weird. These little mounts, nothing really fancy. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little something there to strengthen that up and then also cut that off. But these right here are sleeved. It's just two little tube ends. Let's see, there you go, kind of get a better idea. So those are set in place. Gonna go ahead and get a weld all the way around there. Make it look like shit because I can't do radiuses, but I'll get that all welded in and then I should be able to slide the bar in and actually bolt it in. Yeah, coming together a little bit. I gotta do some re-nitrogen charging. It's sitting really tall right now, but no big. Okay, it's all mostly done. Check it out. So that worked out pretty good. There's a little bit of gusset action down there. Free and clear, all kinds of room. So that is, let me get this back up. Now we're talking. Oh yeah. Well, it's all mounted. Ignore the squeaky power steering pump, but time to take it for a test drive. All right, guys, check it out. I got the sway bar done. I was gonna go take it for a test drive, but my clutch decided to exit the chat or something. So I gotta look at that, of course, just as I finish one thing. Gotta do another, so. But let's check it out. There we have it. Turned out pretty slick considering my workspace I had. Tried to make everything kind of look somewhat parallel and plumb and level. So I ended up finding some pretty hefty D-ring tabs. I don't know if those are D-rings or just some sort of thing I got in some package a long time ago and didn't have to use it, but it worked out pretty good. So as you can kind of see, it sleeves through there. I didn't really bother welding that back tube back there. It didn't seem like it really needed to be done. Worst case scenario, it would be nice to be sealed to keep water from going in the frame, but overall I'm pretty pleased with the outcome. Like I said, I was gonna go take it for a test run. The clutch or something gave out just as I was about ready to leave my gate. So, but regardless, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I don't know really how it's gonna perform. Just kind of taking the turn, kind of getting out of my driveway here. I kind of got a jackknife a couple times, and normally it would want to just totally like send me sideways. And it was definitely limiting that. And then I think what also helped too was having the air shocks not only having, 5-inch up travel, now more like 3, which is kind of where I want to be. So I'm kind of glad I kind of knocked out those two things with the same project. So But other than that, that pretty much is going to wrap up this video. Just comment if you have any questions, or just any sort of comments or things I could have done different. Probably not going to read them, but you can comment if you'd like. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'll read them, but you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's kind of how I was raised. It's an issue with today's social media. So anyways, that's going to end this video. Thanks for watching, and I don't know what I'm going to do next, but you'll find out on the next one, I guess. Take it easy, guys.